So it's time to go racing. Rossa Prada Pirelli, INEOS Britannia.
No problem.
Very easy to lose the rudder in these windy conditions when you've got ease sails.
INEOS coming in with pace.
Nice and smooth, guys. Racing.
Don't go up, boys.
Ainsley chasing hard.
They try and I need some trap here, boys. Yeah, nice.
The race to face the defender in the match on October 12 begins right now. Let's go racing. Race 1 and the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Okay, going straight.
I lock her in here. All the power on the main.
Beautiful job by the Italian team to force the British team to be late there.
Nice thanks, boys.
Luna Rossa were dominant there. They got their time on distance perfect. I thought the way they just used the boundary at low speed was really the key, and it just set them up that INEOS were always pushing from behind, but they were pushing always a bit late. So first blood to the Italians.
They are going to struggle to get one in left, but I think they'll make it with a high mode.
Both teams in these strong conditions actually sailing with slight leeward heel. Cant really wide with a really low centre of effort on the sail plan. Small jib, so targeting potentially -2, -3 degrees leeward heel for best performance.
And a bit softer here.
Top speed in the bearaway, around 51 knots of boat speed for the Italians, and both teams now sailing a slightly lower mode to keep their boats well under their max cavitation speed. So their foils will be hitting that cavitation wall, and they'll be just converting that speed into depth. So they'll be sailing around 150 to 154 true wind angle, really sailing straight down the course in these big breeze conditions.
Coming here.
Big day for the flight controllers today, as well as the trimmers. Both boats will be two-board roundups here, trying to turn 7,000 kilos of hairpin turn at 50 knots. Tough call.
Rossa Prada Pirelli continues to lead in the opening race of the Louis Vuitton Cup final. They whipped that big monster around and head up for leg number 3 of 8. In comes the official challenger of record, INEOS Britannia.
And forward down, tacking.
Straight into attack, the British team there. Oh, washing off a bit of speed there. Straight through the swell. That's a huge slowdown for the British. You can see the difference in boat speed there. The Italians happy with the performance thus far of their fellow countrymen. And the British team on the back foot in these early stages.
Looks like the Italians have moded their boat closer to INEOS, and I think that is a tweak that they have done during the week in the shed.
INEOS Britannia were 180 metres behind at gate 1, and by the time they got to gate 3, there's 300.
Andrea Tessi and James Spithill controlling
I wouldn't push any more than that.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at the moment.
Here on the bell. Nice set. Close.
Oh, bit of a touchdown there.
Nothing's wrong. Okay. Foiling.
Possible issue.
Coming down, boys.
We're going up on main here, slowly.
Aye.
Possible issue on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They had a big vent there.
General, not higher than this zombie, I think.
Flatter heel, Jim in general. Nice, that's good.
Big slides. Hey, stand by. How's the look?
So despite that moment by Rossa Prada Pirelli, they still hold a sizable lead against INEOS Britannia on this fourth leg of 8 in the opening race of the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Nice here, Leyline. Nice.
This is probably the most consistent that Mother Nature has been over the last 3 or 4 days with the weather. The Unicredit Youth America's Cup Regatta has been blessed with magnificent weather in the last 48 hours.
One in boys. Yeah. Going 3.
So Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli knowing exactly where their opponents are on the racetrack and knowing whether they will be laying or not. So they're playing a game of water chess with their opponent, knowing that they will be too short to take that left turn, so they'll take the gate off them to control the race.
Stay no lower if you can. Okay, nice.
One thing the TV does not show is how much those crew on board these boats are getting flicked around in the cockpits. Looks stable from where the pictures we're watching, but I can guarantee you you're getting ragdolled around those cockpits in these waves.
3, 2, 1. All clear.
This is INEOS Britannia. You can see the trimmers are at the back. They get a great view, actually. They can see the foil. Look at the sails. Sitting behind the cyclors.
Bled and Mon, top right of screen there, looking over the side, just controlling the foil through the water.
2, 1, go on board.
Handing over to Lee McMillan. Dylan Fletcher now, tactician Ben Ainsley taking over on the starboard side of the yacht driving.
The drivers now have so many roles. Not just about steering the boat, you only do that half the time.
To cover.
Strategist, tactician,
So they're going to
the whole thing.
They're obviously liking that left turn to the bottom, pretty even.
Both teams opting for a slightly more bow trim in these wavy conditions, so
No more trim, just be careful here.
trying to keep their foil flaps a little more raised at the back for cavitation purposes. So the more flap up you can be at the back, the better you are for cavitation.
Getting close, and 2, 1, boards down.
You could see there the bottom of the bustle is in the tops of the waves.
No problem.
So having a look at the watts on board here. Big push, 2,000 watts there. In here the drivetrain spooling up, 700 watts from Cesar Garbia.
Last time the boats came round the top mark, I just got a bit of a glimpse of Luna Rossa's foil arm, and to me it looks different. And my conclusion is maybe the anvil or the fairing that sits on the arm before you go down into the wing, it just looks a little bit smaller to me, and there's calibration marks also on that foil. I think they have also done a mod. It'd be good to get Glenn's comment on that. I'm only going off a little screen here, but it does look different to me.
Tiny bit light, but all good, boys.
Just on board with Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Having a look at Luna Rossa foil going through the water there, and that is absolutely
A little bit of a puff coming.
ripping those wave caps to pieces.
Luna Rossa had a tough path through the semis to get to this.
Nice flat water here.
Gear damage and a proper battle with American Magic. They'll be thrilled it's going so well.
The Silver Bullet is the first to hit the target, and they will bank the first win on the road to 7 to meet Emirates Team New Zealand in the match.
We're going to flat spot to stand by jibe. I'll leave panic. Nice and smooth, boys.
It is soft.
Confirmation of the opening race in the Louis Vuitton Cup final. It's Luna Rossa with a strong 46-second win against INEOS Britannia.
Stay nice and easy.